Morning, everybody. It's 10 a.m. Pacific time, Friday. Weekend is around the corner, and I am live. Good morning. And today I want to talk about to track or not to track. Seeing tracking as food intake, I mean about tracking as a continuum, and talking about ways, different ways to track and find the way that works for you. My name is Elena Rivera. I have Facebook in front of me. I have Instagram over there, so my eyes are gonna go up and down a little bit, and that's the reason why. I'm a nutrition coach, personal trainer, and master health coach. I help women to find the nutrition plan and exercise plan that works better for them without dieting, starving yourself, or exercising 4 hours on the gym home. Something I help to create a plan that gives you results long term. I don't do diets, I don't do quick fixes because I don't believe on those anymore. I used to, not anymore. So, if you have any questions about this topic or you have ideas for a topic that you would like me to talk about on my Fridays live videos, put all the pon. I said something in Spanish. I'm original from Spain, by the way. So ask me anything below on the comments, and then after the video is done, I will answer your questions. And ways to reach me, you can check my website, perfectforme.com, and you can book a 30 minutes free consultation to discuss your goals, your expectations, to know me more as a coach and see if we are a good fit to work together. And also, I'm working on a group coaching program. For years, I've been coaching one-on-one, and I'm creating this group coaching to reach out to more people, and you can join the wait list on my website as well. I will put the link after I'm done with the video. Okay, so let's talk about to track or not to track. Very deep topic, and it's something that we often, when we hear the word tracking our food, we think, okay, I'm gonna track or I'm not gonna track. And I believe that sometimes in this fitness industry, there's so much debate and arguments about this topic. And I believe that it shouldn't be. I think that there is like a middle ground. It's not about tracking or not tracking my food. There is something, that middle ground, that I want to talk about today. So the concept of tracking and something very important before I keep going is, don't compare yourself with others, what is working for others. Maybe what Pepita is doing is working for Pepita, but maybe if Juanita does what Pepita is doing, maybe it's not going to work for her. So don't compare yourself. You need to find what works for you long term. Okay. And also ask yourself questions like, why do I want to track? What is my goal when tracking? Is this the best moment to track everything? How is my stress level right now? So before even deciding to track or not to track, or how to track, ask those questions. What is the goal of tracking for you? How long do I want to track? Why do I want to track? Things like that. And why? Because you want to set yourself up for success, and you want to do something that you can see yourself doing it long term again. Okay, so before even that, and also for instance, if we see tracking as a continuum, okay, we have on the top of the pyramid on the continuum an athlete, professional, she or he has an event or a competition. So yes, they have to track everything, and they have to be super precise in everything that they eat, because the goal is to perform or be on the competition at their best. So tracking is necessary. And then we have on the other side of the spectrum, we have maybe an example, mother of 2, 3 kids, busy, maybe she's working from home or at school, busy all day, lots of stress. So maybe tracking everything for her is not the best. Maybe she needs to find something, that middle ground, to start with and start taking small steps. Or maybe somebody doesn't know anything about macros. You cannot expect that person, that client, to track everything, or see that person doesn't even know macros. What is that? So macros are protein, fats, and carbs, basically what food is made of. So that's before tracking. Let's see ways to track, okay? So we have very many different ways to track. Often my clients use an app, and there is so many apps that I can't even keep track of all of them. But we have apps like MyFitnessPal could be one. And the good thing about having an app is, like, once you put all your food, the app does everything for you, tells you how many grams of protein contain that food, calories, fats, carbs. If you are, I don't know, you have to eat 1,800 calories, it tells you how many have you eaten on your breakfast, on your lunch, your dinner. So you have everything there, and it's easy once you know how to use the app. But for some people, this method doesn't work, causes a lot of stress. It's like, oh, I don't know, I don't like to use my phone. It's a lot of work to put my food. And maybe this is too much, or maybe that's not the right moment for that person. So if that is your case, don't give up and say, okay, what else is there for me to track? Let's see. We can track with very easier with measurement cups. And I brought mine here. So I have these cups, and you have half cup. This is 1/4, and this is a full cup. Okay. So with cups, you can. I think this is very helpful for like starchy carbs, like grains, potatoes, rice. So you can easily know how much you are eating with this. Also with fats, with your oil, like you can use like teaspoons or tablespoons and see how much you are eating and tracking, and then making sure that for every meal, depending on your goal, you know how many cups of each you have to use. And another week I'm going to talk about how do you know your macros. How do you know, depending on your goal, how much of each macro you need? But I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm talking about methods of tracking today. Another way to track that we coaches use very often is with hand portions. Yes, you can use your hands. And let's say protein. So let's say your palm, we use the palm for protein, like imagine if chicken. So 1 pound is about 20-30 grams of protein. And this is like how thick the chicken should be. And so we measure protein with our palm. And then vegetables, we use our fits. So 1 cup of vegetables. So if we have cups, okay, cup, fit for veggies. And then we use, fit for veggies. And I was going to say cups, your hand, 1 cup is for your starchy veggies, your grains or your fruits. We use hands, 1 cup, or the other cup, using your hands. And then for fats, we use the thumb. So 1 thumb is about 7 to 12 grams of fats, oils, seeds, nuts. That's how we track how many portions of each one. So palms, fits for veggies, cup for starchy veggies or carbs, and then thumbs for fats. Okay, another method. This is very, very useful. I use this for people that they don't want to use the phone. They don't want to write everything down, and they use hands, and they know, like in a day, when I give the nutrition plan, they know that they have to eat, 5 portions of protein. So every time you eat protein, you calculate with your palm, that's 1 or 2 portions. And you know that if you eat 1 during your breakfast, you have 4 more pounds to eat throughout your day. That's how we create that nutrition plan. Or they have a piece of paper on the fridge and they have 5 pounds. And every time they eat 1 pound, they scratch that pound and they know how much they have left. Very easy, right? So see, there is other ways to calculate your macros. Also with food journal. Some clients love to write everything, and they bring that journal everywhere, and they write what they eat, and they keep track. Then they show me what they have written, and we can plan and see if it's working or not, checking all the data. you can know what things you need to change. So tracking is a great way to know what's going on. Gives you the whole picture, gives you the data, gives you information. It's just feedback. Okay, tracking hasn't have to be something obsessive, of something like I want to know how much I'm eating if I'm not eating my 1800 or 1900 calories, but it gives you lots of information. So if you are frustrated because you don't see results, that information is going to tell you a lot of what's going on. So we use that information to keep progressing, and always as a feedback. There is not failure. Okay. Another method of tracking is maybe taking pictures. And I have done this with clients as well. Clients that are super busy, like this mom that is busy, busy, busy on the go. I said, hey, you have always your phone with you, right? So when you eat something, take a picture, send me the picture, so I have an idea of what's going on, and we can build the plan from there. Easier, super fast, and we all these days use our phones, right? Um, Other ways to track is, okay, saying like, okay, right now I'm overwhelmed, my life is like too much. I'm gonna start tracking one thing at a time. See the continuum from the top, the athlete that has to track everything, and we are going down to that continuum. And now maybe let's track one thing. Let's, for instance, track protein. You say, okay, right now I'm just gonna focus on one thing, Elena. Okay, and I ask my client, what thing do you want to focus on? I want to track my water intake. I want to track my protein or my carbs, my sugar intake, my water. And I said, okay, pick one. And then we are going to track that one for a week or two. And let's see. And going from there, when you feel more comfortable, then you can add something else. For protein, you can use your palms, or I sometimes suggest, super simple, to buy food scale. You just use it for your protein. You don't have to weight everything, just one thing. See? And then when you feel more comfortable, and then you just, when you do this for a while, you just by seeing on the plate, you more or less know this is 4 ounces, 5 ounces, like 1 pound is about 3-4 ounces of, let's say, chicken or meat or whatever protein you are eating. And then you learn without tracking everything. Okay, tracking, for instance, how full you are. Last week I talked about eating slowly. Track how fast you eat, and I'm working on that. Like every time you eat, I'm gonna track, I'm gonna breathe, and I'm gonna track how fast I'm eating my food and how full I feel. And symptoms, you can track symptoms and saying, okay, every time I eat, I don't know, sweet potatoes, I feel bloated, I feel like tired. Track your symptoms and see, okay, maybe I'm not gonna eat sweet potatoes for a while. And then you track another food and see, every time I eat pasta, I feel the same. Or every time I eat, I don't know, broccoli, I feel super energized and I feel great, or I feel bad. Tracking food and tracking symptoms. So that's what I like about the word tracking. It's not all or nothing, or if I track or I don't track anything. There is so many ways to track. And something that is been working great with my clients is to focus on one thing, because there is studies have shown when we focus on more than one thing, the rate of production and success goes down like by a lot. Like if we focus on one thing, there's like out of 1 out of 10, like 8.8 success rate in production and productivity. If you focus on two things, the numbers go down to 50%. And if you focus on three things, maybe 10-20% of success and productivity. So focus on one thing, the power of focusing on one thing for a couple of weeks until it becomes something easier. And then you feel confident, you feel successful, and that is going to give you that motivation and push you to keep progressing. Once you feel comfortable tracking water, say, okay, I don't drink enough water, I'm going to focus on that for the next 2 weeks. And then when you start tracking and seeing wins and celebrating those wins always, you say, okay, now I want to track my veggies because I think I need to eat more veggies. I'm going to add veggies in the morning and on my smoothie, and veggies at dinner, because it's easier for me to cook at dinner when I at home. See how that works? Tracking doesn't have to be yes or not. There's always a medium ground. So this is all for today. I could be talking. I have so many things about tracking and how I work with my clients. But yeah, if you have questions, you want to know, let me know. Reach out to me. And also, if right now, before I forget, I have opening spots for new clients. So if you are thinking, if you feel like, I think I need that for a while, a coach, because we all need coaches. I have coaches too that are helping me. And always, if you need help to create a plan, to know where to start, to discuss your goals, book an appointment, perfectforme.com, 30 minutes free consultation, and let's talk. Let's work together and see how we can build that plan that is going to give you results for you and only for you, because everybody, is unique and different, and you are. And let me tell you before I go, if nobody has told you today that you are beautiful and that you are strong, let me be the first one. Okay. So when you see a mirror today, look at yourself and start saying, I am strong, I am beautiful, I am fit. Okay. No, 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 no. You are. Okay. You are. And the change starts here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This is Elena Rivera, and I will see you next week. Adios.